Hey, it's Jason Zach.
We're gonna bike the Chauga River Ramble, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be very fun.
3 days of waterfalls and biking.
It's gonna be almost 80 miles, and today is the very start.
Our hopes are high.
And that was our first mistake. See, this is us in the parking lot. And if I zoom out here, you can see the scale of this trail. It is absolutely huge. We had a lot of biking ahead of us, but we were excited for it. We knew it'd be fun. The way there was really pretty. My dad was driving the whole way, and we saw a lot of really cool flowers. It was also cool to see all the mountains along the way. We even stopped to look at this one right here. But this wasn't my first time doing this. I had done it before, just half the distance. You would think the experience would prepare me, but it actually scared me. You see, I had struggled with climbing hills. My bike didn't have a low enough gear, so it ended up requiring a lot of effort for each pedal stroke. This year though, I was prepared. I brought a smaller gear, so I'd be able to climb those hills with ease. The beginning of the trip was going well, and we were seeing a lot of cool sights like this really big lake here.
Just hit a really epic downhill. This has been really cool so far.
These trails at the beginning of this trip were actually part of the Stump House trail system, which I had biked previously. It's a set of really fun trails, and this one right here is one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh. That was cool. Downhill bikes only.
Is that the one you were talking about? Yeah.
Cool.
Is that a bunker?
Oh, looks like it.
Oh wow, that's cool. I don't think
Check
I've
it
ever
out.
noticed that before.
You wanna climb inside?
I'm down.
Actually,
I'm gonna say no. Let's keep rolling.
I was gonna say that seems a little sketchy.
Yeah, it's. There's another one right here to the left.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What do you think that's for? Or
I
from?
don't know. I mean, if y'all want to explore, we can go down there and explore.
I'd love to check it out.
Came across this bunker in the woods. Whoa. Not gonna go in there. Zach, what do you have to say about this?
Dude, it's a freaking bunker.
There's like a whole mess of junk over here. This is crazy.
It seemed that we had stumbled across the Stump House itself. Maybe a hydroelectric dam, maybe some control station. We really didn't know what it was, but we thought it was really cool, and we explored it a lot.
I'm gonna climb down there.
You are? Yeah. Alright.
Being such a cool spot, of course we had to flick up.
We just made it to the waterfall. Refilling our water. Now you may be wondering, how exactly did we get our water? Well, it was just as simple as a life straw. So basically what a life straw does is it takes dirty water in one end and it outputs it on the other side as clean water. Another cool thing about this is for every life straw you buy, someone in Africa also gets a life straw of their own. While my dad's filling up the water bottles, we're gonna go hike around the waterfall and we're gonna see what we can find. I'm starting to think I should have brought the helmet to wear it on my head. I'm needing that fourth hand. Well, I made it out alive. Making ramen for lunch. How yummy it looks. Did a lot of downhills, so we're about to do a lot of uphills. What'd you say?
I saw there was 700 feet of elevation change.
700 feet. That's probably one of the biggest climbs, if not the biggest climb. Well, we're having issues with my chain. It fell off and broke. It wasn't all over though. I was still able to bike because we put on a new chain link and reattached the chain, but it came at a cost. So now this little gear here is really useful because it means I can
make it easier to pedal, and we have like a mile uphill.
Alright.
But it doesn't work.
Now, this was very bad news. I wasn't sure what I was going to do from this point. This was my whole plan. With or without the smaller gear, either way we had to keep pushing, so we continued on. As we were climbing the 700-foot hill, my friend Zach realized that he left his bag back down by the waterfall. This is really sad because he had to go all the way back down and then climb the hill a second time.
Zach, you made it back.
One we got from Wechter. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, that's what I had to go.
Borrowed your thing, left it out by the thing. You know where it is.
Funnily enough, the bag that Zach had left was actually one of my dad's friends. This meant that he had to get it because it wasn't his own. This clip here is the rest of the 700 feet of elevation we had to climb. I put it in 30 times speed, but it still takes a very long time to get to the top. Once we get to the top though, we're rewarded with a really fun downhill. The rest of the way there was pretty much the same, climbing up hills and seeing a few sights. We ended up seeing this car in this guy's front yard, which is pretty funny to see in the mountains.
We made it to the waterfalls.
Set up camp, woo woo.
Yeah, Zach's got the hammock. I've got the tent.
One of y'all want to go filter water?
We have some nochi for dinner, which is like pasta but potatoes. Yummy.
Making it to camp the first day felt nice, knowing that we had the biggest day behind us. We also had the majority of the climbing behind us. It was really difficult though, lacking that small gear, but we decided we'd try and fix it before the bike tomorrow.
Well, we have now filled the water, and the nochi is underway. Today was quite hard. We went 26, 27 miles, but now we're at camp. Oh my gosh, it's done. Look how good this looks. It's so good. Good morning.
Just had some oatmeal and tea because tea is pretty cool. Just took down our campsite. We're off to the right of the waterfall downstream.
It's gonna be a lot of uphill maybe. Also the camera's dying.
Kind of how it works. You go uphill and then you go downhill.
That is how it works. Also, I didn't sleep very well. Maybe like, I don't know, 3-4 hours of sleep. So that was fun.
It was so cold. I don't know why, but we decided to bring only a blanket, and we definitely needed a sleeping bag. It was a very miserable night. I ended up sleeping after the sun started rising, because it got warm enough. We plan on, before the next night, finding something else to cover up with.
Hopefully that gets better tonight.
I was out like a rock. If you were wondering, I slept like a baby.
Zach brought the right things.
You know that little gear I was talking about? Yeah, this one. We figured out a way I could use it, which was huge. It meant I'd be able to do the trip.
Alright. Think we got his maybe working on the low one.
We'll find out.
We'll see. There's 2 links. There's no longer a quick link in it.
Isn't
And
it-
2 links are out of it, which makes it shorter, meaning there's not as much slack in it.
Ooh, that's huge.
Right.
If I can stay in this gear, this hill will be nothing.
Well, that's the hope. Let's not overexcite ourselves about it.
We just climbed probably the biggest hill of the entire trip. I'm dying, but I'm about to film the biggest downhill. So this will be very fun. At this point, the trip was going great. We were all getting into the rhythm of it and just having a great time. We were moving through the second day quickly, and we had some more sights ahead of us. As we pushed on, we saw some awesome countryside views. There were beautiful mountains covered in trees, and there was this house. It was just a beautiful place to be. We were getting hungry though, so we decided to stop for lunch. We've made it to the halfway point. Made it about 40 miles, and we're at a super cool waterfall. This is really exciting, and there's an even better one over down this path. And Zach's about to try a backflip, I think. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. And also, we're cooking up some ramen. Well, this is about to be very cool. Zach's doing a backflip. Woo! That was clean. Alright, Zach's doing another backflip. After eating ramen, I wanted to join in on the fun, so we went down to the lower waterfalls and I set up the camera where I could do a backflip. It was so slippery and I was really worried that I was going to fall, but there are these little patches of moss that you could put your feet on so you wouldn't slide. I thought about doing a side flip and a front flip too, but I decided on a back flip because I thought it'd be the easiest. Do a back flip.
Gonna try it off of that rock right there. I made sure to check the water before jumping in, which is something you should always do. Zach eventually saw me and decided to pick up the camera and film for me. I was really happy with doing this backflip because it was one of my biggest goals for this journey. My dad also got a picture of me and Zach underneath the waterfall, which I thought was really sick. We went to a general store and we decided to get some ice cream. And now,
Got happy people.
and now we got some ice cream for dinner. We just went down like the steepest mountain ever to get to our campsite, and we're not quite sure if there is a campsite, so we may have to hike back up. This waterfall is quite cool though, so hopefully we find something. We in fact did not find anything, so we had to climb up the hill. Thankfully though, at the top there was a campsite which we had missed on the way in, so we were able to find somewhere to sleep tonight. We made a pretty nice fire, ate some burritos, and then went to bed. It's getting dark now, so we're about to head to bed, so I will see you tomorrow. Good morning.
Day 3. Got a nice fire here warming us up.
It feels so nice. What feels even nicer is that I actually slept last night.
What? No way.
It was much better than not sleeping.
Getting good one, Captain Obvious.
Oatmeal again. Yay. It's actually good. Well, today is the final day, and we only have 28 miles left, and then we're done. Nearing the end of our trip, we were ready to get home. Already having biked so far the days before, today felt like the longest by far. Is this the waterfall?
Yeah, we think so.
While we were stopped at the waterfall, I ended up getting into another yellow jacket mess. This was like the third one of the trip, and I was just tired of it, so I went up and waited at the top.
I can't believe how cold it is. I can't believe how cold it is.
My dad got this cool picture of himself. It was a really pretty hidden waterfall. After stopping, we continued on. There were some really tough hills, but this one had flowers along the way, which made it less bad. The rest of today just consisted of biking up and down hills like this. Eventually, we ran into a little bit more single track though, which is basically just mountain bike trail.
Yeah, we're kind of starting the way, or finishing the way we started.
It sounds like we have a lot more miles left though.
We do.
We made it back.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Good trip. Good trip. Yes, sir.
Last 15 miles is a bit of a doozy, but
Well,
Yes.
what's a trip without a little bit of pain and agony?
And we had done it. We had biked all 80 miles of the trail. I was completely exhausted, and so was Zach. My dad, on the other hand, was getting ready for a trip where he would bike what we did in 3 days, in only 1 day, and he would do this multiple days in a row. So he had no issues with this trip. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!